at this. Look at this that just showed up.
I've been here for hours. You're the one that just showed up.
Oh, no.
I'm all teched and done.
Yeah, whatever.
The car's already in the trailer.
So partying for 3 days for his 50th birthday. We're now the same age for 2.5 months. And I drove away just fine, and he had to go back to LA and go on a Ivy.
I actually got sick. It wasn't.
Party too hard.
You also puked in my plane?
Yes, I puked in his plane.
I never threw up.
He's such an amazing pilot. I puked in his plane. I've never puked in my life.
What'd you do? Did you do like 360s or something?
Yeah. Yeah, he was. Oh, no. He's like, oh, check out Lake Powell. Yeah.
One time, actually, that's true.
No,
Yeah,
I'm a bit of a lightweight when it comes to turbulence.
And you're fine. But anyway, it was a great week. So, how the car pass tech?
No, stickers. Stickers are not big enough.
I told him about that.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Bye. Look at you. Try to do an interview, get interrupted by Jess War and Tanner Faust.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Who I...
Two people said to me this way, it's so good to see you back in your son.
Oh, really? Yeah. What happened here? Let's tell this story.
Tell that story.
Yeah. This is so when a driver should not work on his own car.
No. Hot grooving tires, you shouldn't hot groove your hand.
Yeah.
Oh,
It doesn't go the
ouch.
same.
Yeah, he's trying to get more grip on the steering wheel by grooving his hand. Note from your son, don't play that game.
Bye.
All right, now we can get back to the serious stuff.
Yeah, now we can talk about your 101st running of the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb. You brought a BMW.
Yeah, a lot of people think it's a Mustang. I don't know why, but it's a BMW M8.
Come on, how could people mistake this for a Chelsea DeNova's car?
Well, maybe the graphics a little bit, but hey, there's been Pennzoil on other cars I've driven before. But yeah, this is a BMW M8. This is kind of BMW's flagship performance, the fastest production car that they have produced. It's a 4.4 liter twin turbo V8, 4-wheel drive system, and it is pretty spicy.
And this is actually an effort where it's all your team from beginning to end. You guys actually prepped this vehicle.
Yeah, so prep is pretty light compared to the full builds that we've done with, full chassis and suspension and carbon bodies. But we're here this year representing BMW of North America. I hold 2 records for the production race records, which is for the SUV and the production car. And this year, support through BMW North America, we are going after both of those records with a good friend in the stunt world and a great driver, Matt Mullins, driving the new BMW XM Hybrid, 738 horsepower and torque factory. And then the M8 that I'm driving as well for a production car. Stock is 627 horsepower, and both cars are actually doing really, really well.
So then, in my eyes, this is honestly one of the most exciting categories for Pikes Peak. I mean, because if you don't have $5-10 million, it's a little tough to go for overall now because of what Romain has done. With that said, there's so many awesome records, exciting records, that is a little more relatable, I feel like, that you can go for it with a stock vehicle.
Yeah, you did right. You come here either by choice with what you have in your garage or by contact. I've been contacted to represent a brand. I've had the opportunity to race unlimited category 4 times and won 2 of those times, but have lots more class wins because that's what's been relative to either the association that I had with the manufacturer or title sponsor or so forth, and this year represents that the same. Do I want to be racing a production vehicle? No, everyone wants a full-blown race car, but you have to hustle a production car up this mountain twice as hard. Everything is working for you to a point that you can overdrive the suspension and the grip of the tire. This is all stock suspension.
Yeah, and because you don't even have aero at all.
There's no aero, except for a sweet rear wing and a couple of diplanes that I think my hand out the window probably adds more downforce.
Wait,
Check those bad boys
Did you
out.
add this?
Hang
Or
on,
this
why is your hand so massive? Those things are huge, right? That perspective is wrong. And then the tire is probably the most important thing in the class. This is a DOT tire. Pirelli, in my mind, up on this mountain, build the best tire. We've run them in the unlimited categories, in the GT3, Bentley, and now this year on both of the BMWs. It's the Trofeo R. Sidewall has a little bit more suspension compliance than a regular tire, and then the compound is very, very good. We're still on a road that is in the 40-degree temps. We're still able to get 160 degrees out of tire temp. So it's working, operating right where we want it to work.
Are you able to run tire warmers?
We are. Yep.
Okay, so you can warm them up, even though these being street tires probably work pretty well when they're cold too.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. You know, this event, again, you could say so many times, it's so unique and so different to other events. People come up here with a full slick, and you'll actually heat those tires up to 160, 180 degrees plus. But at the end of 5 miles, they'll be down around 110 degrees if you're not working the tire hard enough. The great thing about a production-based tire is if you see there's a lot of grooves, there's a lot of lines in the tire. What that actually does is it makes the tread move around, and that keeps the heat in the tire. So we're heating the tire to 160 and finishing the run at 160. So it's actually really, really good as a production-based DOT tire.
So then, it being stock class, there's still certain things you can do for safety, for reliability. What are the things that you guys have actually done to this vehicle?
Sure. So outside of the tire that I just mentioned, ECU and exhaust is free. I think the organization would struggle to kind of police that. So the ECU has had a slight tweak, but this car is a little bit notorious for heat soak. So we only gave it about 75 horsepower over stock. And then exhaust from downpipes to the rear is a merged single exhaust to try to get a weight out of it. She's a bit of a heavy girl. Came in at scales with me in it, and I'm not at my lightest this year, at 4250. So it's definitely not, an 18-year-old. It's a well-dressed, mature adult car.
Okay, so then ECU exhaust, so then how much power is it making at sea level versus here?
So stock is 627, so let's say it's around 700 foot-pounds of torque.
And then do you lose a lot of that being up here?
The ECU should compensate and keep that up all the way. The turbos are quite small, the displacement is good, 4.4 liter V8, so it should hold the power up the hill all the way. And practice times have shown that we're some 20 seconds below where we wanted to be. So we're in a good spot.
Wow. And
then you go inside and it's pretty much safety. Sparco seat, harnesses, roll cage, onboard fire system, and then we have a radium fuel cell as well.
Yeah, can we, let's take a look at the engine bay first, and then let's take a look at the interior. Jeez, it really is stock. Stock wheels, even stock toe point.
Yep. Look at that sweet tow hook.
100% stock. You even have the engine cover still on it.
We do. Yeah, you see a line here for the fire system that is spraying 2 or 3 nozzles here, and then on the fuel cell, and then on the driver. But everything else is as it runs off the showroom floor.
So you're not even allowed to change the filter element?
Nope. No filters allowed, just exhaust and ECU.
But you could change the oil.
Oh yeah, we've obviously changed the oil a couple of times. We are running a 1060 Pennzoil race oil in here. It's kind of the standard for what we run on most of our engines. So that's a given. Got a good healthy dose of fresh Pennzoil in there, and it's ready to haul the mail up the mountain.
So what about cooling? You're not allowed to change any of the cooling either?
We pulled out the air conditioning core, condenser core, I guess you'd call it. So it just gets better airflow to the radiator, and that's about it. This car has 2 heat exchangers. It is an air-to-water cooling system. One of the challenges of this car is the stock intercoolers are not very big, so that's why we didn't bump the power up much over stock, because we know that it'll be great for about 3 miles, and then it will just start pulling back power.
Let's take a look at the inside.
Yep.
Still everything metal door. You are able to move the door panel.
Yes, door panels were removed, carpets and rear seats and headliner. That is effectively, we pulled out about 350 pounds, but then put in probably 200 pounds with the fuel cell and roll cage and everything else that went in here. Obviously next to you is just a bracket there for holding the engineer's ECU so we can do lifetime monitoring and make sure all the vitals of the car are running good as well.
But for the actual race, you take all this stuff
we'll
out.
take that out.
Got it. It's crazy to me that all of this is still stock.
Yep.
Premium leather.
Well, this car is quite sophisticated. Within the four-wheel drive system, you can actually make it full rear-wheel drive and full rear drift mode as well. But within the settings, you can have standard four-wheel drive, which is a 50-50, four-wheel drive sport, which I tried on the first test, which is about 80-20, and then when the rear sensors slip, then it locks the front, and that kind of unbalanced the car. And then you can go Sport Plus through steering, braking, throttle mapping, and chassis on shocks as well. We tried comfort mode for full soft, but we needed more tire support, so we're like pretty much across the board just in the standard sport settings of everything that the car comes with factory.
And then the transmission itself, it is like a traditional automatic transmission.
Yeah, this car actually has a torque converter in it as well. It has a torque application, so if it senses, I've actually been running the car in drive, it snaps through the gears pretty quick. So I've just left it in drive, let it self-learn, and right now it has put me in the right gear and the right torque range for every corner on the mountain.
So then, with the fuel cell back there, do you actually get to remove the stock tank?
Yeah, so stock tank is out, and then we've just plumbed in 10 gallons and we're running a VPQ16. So it's an oxygenated fuel, and that means when we're up here at altitude where we're losing oxygen, we're kind of pumping it into the engine through the fuel transfer.
So then how pissed off is this because you moved all this stuff? I see that it says emergency call system malfunction, something.
It's beyond pissed off. Between restraint systems and all sorts of things, it's beeping and chiming at me all the time. But
it's not.
But it's functioning.
It's not going to limp mode.
It's not
or
going
anything?
into limp mode. Nope. But these cars are so smart right now. It's beyond scary.
What does Jeff need to
I didn't know
add?
you're filming again.
No, it's okay. It's okay. What's up?
I was just looking at things. I hadn't looked inside this car. It was always dark when I saw it.
It's so cool.
It's really great.
You still have cup holders. Does your car still have cup holders, Jeff?
Mine didn't come with cup holders.
See, this is better.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I get 5 minutes finally in front of the camera, and this is twice.
You know, I'm used to being on the other side, so I'm really excited to be here.
So Jeff in the morning has one goal. What's your goal of run one for tomorrow morning?
3:59.
What?
So, and then you've run this a couple times already during practice.
Yes.
Maybe not in the most ideal conditions. How is this? What's your projected time?
Yeah,
now?
so we're comparing this to a car that I ran in 2019, which structure for structure was another two-door coupe, was the Bentley Continental GT. The differences I would say between those cars, that's a W12 6-liter engine. It had airbag suspension, where this car has more traditional coil-over strut suspension or shock. So the chassis in the corners handles a lot better. The other side of it is this is 900 pounds lighter than the Bentley. So when you start going, if you push a car along a flat piece of road, if you start pushing it up a 30-degree incline, only one person could push it flat, but you're going to need 10 guys to push it up. So the weight factor really becomes a major factor in braking and acceleration and corner roll speed, more so than any flat racetrack. So probably one of the biggest advantages here is the chassis and then the weight reduction for the times that we're seeing. We're about 20 seconds faster than what the Continental GT did.
Just in one section or over?
In combined sections.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. And then so when you turn it on, do you actually have to go through the menu and turn off traction control and put it in M mode and all that?
Yeah, so the M competition series actually have two really cool buttons here. You have a M1 programmable and an M2 programmable button. So I can go up on the center IP and select, as we talked earlier, about what I want the car to be in, chassis, throttle, shocks, all of that. and I'm actually running M1 in the middle section to soft the car up for a better turn-in through the hairpins, and then M2 on the faster bottom section and faster upper section. So it's a really cool standard feature of the car. Click, click, and then you've got the car perfectly dialed between two sections.
That is so cool. So then, do you have to? It's a stock steering wheel.
Yep.
You can't change the steering wheel.
No, there's too much science and numbers going through there that you don't want to do that.
But you have to remove the airbag and everything else.
Yes, yeah, airbags are detached on both sides. Yeah.
Got it. It's incredible that you're still able to get this to run, and part of it is that I see so many modules and stuff that are still connected.
Oh, it is absolutely scary how many things are connected. Even with removing the door card, it has a remote in here, a module that senses the key when you're walking up to the car, and we couldn't open the doors or do anything, so we had to find that attached, unclip it, clip it back in the wire harness, and tie it up.
So it's in here somewhere.
Yeah, it's just down on the bottom. Yep. Yeah, these cars are scary smart.
That is so crazy. It's unbelievable. So then, how many miles did this have when BMW gave this to you?
This was a pretty quick turnaround. So I picked this car up from the driving center out in Thermal, and I picked it up with 23 miles on it. I drove it for 1,200 miles, got it serviced, and then it went to Willow for a baseline test, and then it went straight into the shop. And at that point, we started building the car, and I didn't actually get to test it until up on the mountain because we had the Baja 500 for like 2 weeks pre-running and racing. Flew back from that, flew straight up here, and first time driving it in anger on this tire with this trim was last weekend. So it's been a quick ramp up, but the car has a lot of great fundamentals that are built into the systems, and it's been very easy to adapt to.
This is so cool. I've never really had a chance to see this vehicle. I mean, I for whatever reason, I feel like maybe it's a little bit outside of a lot of BMW enthusiasts' price range. This is the top of the line, tippy top.
Yeah, you're $160,000+ for an M8. So yeah, you're dead right. But
I mean,
they're quite subtle on the outside. This thing looks pretty cool now with all the graphics on it.
Yeah.
But you walk up on one and you wouldn't expect the visuals from the exterior to match the driving experience from the driver's seat, and it is something pretty impressive. You've got publications and outlets that are testing this car at 2.88 seconds, 0 to 60. And that's right in par with like a Porsche 992, Turbo S. So this thing is fast.
What I can relate this to is like the new Nissan GTR, or like the latest and greatest.
Yep.
Because it is 2+2, twin turbo, all-wheel drive.
Yep.
Paddle shift. It's probably similar size.
Yeah.
Similar power.
Yep.
But it's incredible that BMW wants you to do this. I think that's super cool. They have a really good contender for sure.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to go well, and it's a team effort. We have two cars here for the event, the new XM, which is the hybrid SUV. Matt Mullins, my friend, is driving that, and he's doing exceptionally well. And both cars are, on that same scale of 20+ seconds below the current two production car race records. So excited for that.
Cool. Well, good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Stoked to see you. As always.
No more interruptions from Jeff or Tanner?
Yeah.
Wow, we could probably close this out professionally. Thank you.
All right, later.
See ya.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to support us directly, go to LarryChenPrints.com. I print and sign every single one of these. This is the perfect gift, or it's the perfect piece of art for your wall.